Hey everybody, Happy New Year! Yes, it's January 31st, and I figured I'd do a short video, a vlog of sorts, to keep you in the know of what's going on in Art Studio. Uh, yeah, it's been a while, and I'm thinking for the time being and for however long things keep going this way, I'll do at least a video a month um, until things start getting better, amping up, and all that. Um, so, yeah, I got multiple projects going on, trying to keep my head above water as per usual. Kind of almost lost my apartment, but luckily I got paid up, and that's taken care of. I did finish the. Let me go grab it. I did finish the Daredevil piece, which I posted online, but in case you haven't seen it, doo, doo, doo. So unfortunately, what happened was this paper is crappy. Um, I already sold this piece, and actually, I'm going to be doing this image, inking this piece again. But yeah, this paper is super thin, and you can tell it's all warped. Which I have to rescan this. I think I was going to clean up the image. That I did a scan and it was okay. Because it's so warped, I'm gonna have to rescan it, I think, and try to pile some stuff on top of it and maybe flatten it when it gets scanned. But I had a ton of fun on this. I can't capture it all at once. But yeah, it's a gorgeous piece. Rodney Jacobson is an excellent artist. Um, but yeah, so um, I'm gonna do a print of it. But if I can't get a decent scan out of this one, like I said, I'm gonna re-ink it, and I'm gonna ink it on better paper, and maybe scan that piece. The point of that is that I'm going to be doing a print, maybe a limited edition, maybe just 50 prints, something like that. Because yeah, it's a gorgeous piece, but it's it's a collaboration. It's not my own art, although it's my inks. Like the alien piece, I'm thinking I'll probably always keep making new copies of that, so I get that to as many people as possible. But this, I think 50 will be enough for everybody. Anyway, yeah. So I'll see how that works out. Uh, but yeah, wanted to come here today more about the projects I'm working on. Um, so what have we got going on? We got Designated, issue 2. So, little history. Designated is a project I started early 2000s. Then it went through many hands, many publishers, and it was a holdup because they held on to the pages, the last person that had them. And Mark, the creator-writer, finally got the artwork back. And it came up again. He asked me if I wanted to ink it, and I said yes. I do want to do that. You know, it's a 5-issue miniseries. For those that don't know, if you're just joining me here, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like this video, share it out to your friends, all that jazz. But yeah, Designated, you know, it's a book I want to see. I want to get it done eventually, and you know, help Mark get all the books published, so we can see this fully accomplished at some point. So issue 2, I knew some of the pages were inked by somebody else, and I didn't even realize, because I have not only stacks of all the pages of Designated, but some other projects, and I kind of have different stacks, and I kind of lost track of what I accomplished with issue 2. I thought I was further along, and it turns out I wasn't at all. I was kind of counting pages from issue 1. Anyway, I sorted it all out when I cleaned and organized my studio, and realized that it was maybe only a fourth inked. So then I touched base with Mark, and it turns out, you know, I thought some of the pages I inked were for issue 2, and it turned out only one of the pages that Mark had was my inks. So I'm going to be re-inking pages that were inked by somebody else, because I'm inking, you know, part of the deal between me and Mark is I'm inking the whole book. So now he has a good many pages. So officially, I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm like half the issue is inked by me. And you know, I can show you. It's the latest page I'm working on. This has just got a little more, some hair here, some little detail, some hair, a cloud, and a little bit of her, and I'll be done with this page. And then I got one more page of which I have pencils, and then another page where Mark sent me the pencils, a scan of the pencils, but it's a horrible scan, so I got to get it cleaned up, because that's the one page of this whole book that was lost. That was a page I already inked, so I'll be getting that cleaned up, and then I can start on that page. And then the rest of the pages, he's going to send me scans of the inks of the pages, because I don't think he has scans of the pencils. So that's going to be a little challenging, because I don't want to be influenced by the style of what was already inked, and try to keep it more consistent with what I already inked. Anyway, that's my problem. So yeah, so I'm looking for, hopefully in February I could accomplish that. I would say definitely, but I was paid way back when for this this whole series, so it's kind of as I can fit it in between paying work. But it's a good possibility that Designated issue 2 will be fully inked in February. So then we have what I'm doing with Tribe Comics, which is the missing half. So the missing half has been pretty much my most consistent work of late. There's been a little recent hiccup, but we're down to the last 4 pages. So talked to Scott, and he should be having, I should have more pages probably this weekend for me to jump back onto and for us to get through the first issue. Now they talked about crowdfunding and Kickstarter, so when that happens, I'll let everybody know, of course. Yeah, personally, I hope that they do put it up on Kickstarter, and I hope it does pretty good. It is a shorter issue. It's only 16 pages, I believe. 16 pages of cover, which when I'm fully done is what I inked. Then I'll put extras in the back or whatever, ads or stuff. But yes, so I'm looking forward to getting that book out. I will mention the Alchemist. It's American Alchemist. American Alchemist, book 1 is being fulfilled right now. There was a hiccup with the printer, and some things weren't printed right. Or am I thinking of somebody else's project? Anyway, there was a hiccup with the printer, and so he got things not all at once, but in pieces. So he's on the last leg of fulfilling. So of course, I haven't got my books yet. I'm only getting 3, I believe. One of each cover I inked, which is fine, which is all I really want. So once that's fully done and Chris has money to start on issue 2 or book 2, I already did 3 covers previously, and that will be part of book 2. And I'll be inking a short story, something to do with robots, by, I can't pronounce his name, but by the artist who did 3 covers that I inked. The artist passed away, so it would be the last story this artist penciled, and I'll be inking that for book 2. I don't know if that's happening in February or sometime later, but it will be happening at some point, so I am looking forward to that. Another book I'm currently working on is Smokes. Lee Oakes is the artist on Smokes, and I gotta say it's going to be a challenging book for me, because Lee is kind of like, artistically, he's kind of like Cal Fury. He's a very tight artist, and it always takes me longer with extremely tight artists. But he also works small, and in fact, like I have my regular glasses that I only use for reading. I had to pick up another pair of glasses that were slightly better than these to do the tight work. So Lee's work is taking me longer, but it's looking like a really beautiful book, and So yeah, there's no rush on that. Um, but I'll make some progress in February. But you know, I am looking to finish Designated issue 2 for February, the missing half for February, make some progress on Smokes. Oh, there's the Project X. There's my cat. Hold on, folks. Rocket wants my attention. Hey, buddy. Want to say hello? Say hello to the people. Right, he went off to the kitchen. You might hear him. Okay, so Project X is the one I'm penciling. And I was making I was making some progress on that. I penciled a total of 3 pages. And I was really happy with the way it was going. But the co-writer, creator, since I am technically co-writing that with him, had a flood of ideas, and I got to a point where I couldn't wrap my head around the story anymore. And because of that, and because of I was getting overwhelmed with the amount of work, because at one point I was focusing on 6 different projects, and I had to cut that down. So I said, look, you know, give me some time off of this. I'm going to focus on some other things. Let me get at least one other book done. Then I'll jump back onto our project, where I want to re-flesh out the story, and then we'll tweak it together, and then I'll start doing pages again. Because yeah, it got confusing. Like he had some major story changes, and I was like, that's not necessarily making the story better, in my opinion. It's just, yeah, so I had to put a stop to that. It's like, you know, give me a story that is decent, and then leave it alone. Don't keep changing it as I go, because you know that doesn't help me as an artist. So it looks like in February I'll be getting back to that, but I'm going to work on the story first, so that we have a steady path going forward. What else? Well, of course, there is the major project that I will have at some point going forward, called Retro. Now, Retro relies heavily on me making a lot of money that I could keep in the bank, and that's not happening yet. So I need at least 2,000 that I could have before I really go forward with Retro. Unfortunately, you know, this past year and a half, it's becoming longer at this point, but has side railed me. So I want to give it my full focus. So that means me getting to a point where I have 2,000 in the bank. Then I'll progress forward on retro and do everything I need to do. You know, it's technically well, I was gonna say 90, but coloring is gonna take me a long time. Maybe 60% done because of coloring. Because even though I'm thinking that I want to do it stylistically wise with colors, you know, pretty closer to like comics of the 80s, I probably want to add more pizzazz to it than that, which means, you know, I have to learn how to color on Procreate and Clip Studio Paint first, and then you know, I'm gonna color like an 80s comic initially, and then go back over it and see where I can amp things up a little bit, you know. Stylistically, with the art, it's, you know, it's reminiscent of some like a book from back then, you know, with Rich Fisher and my inks over him, you know, 80s, 90s, somewhere in that group. So I don't want to just make it like 80s coloring. I want to give it my best shot. So that's going to take me a while, and that's why I say it's 60% done. Other than the coloring, you know, I have to do all the merchandise, and I have to do putting the book together, all the back stuff. You know, it's 28 pages of story. It's going to be a 40-page book. There's going to be a lot of stuff in the back. Only a few pages of ads, but that's ads I'm giving to some of my friends' books. So I don't consider them. They won't be paid ads. They'll be, you know, me promoting some of my friends' works. So yeah, you know, I will get to retro this year. I just need a span of time where I'm not worried about paying rent, paying bills, having food on the table, all that stuff. You know, this past month has been super stressful. I got past the worst of it, but there's still hiccups, and I need new work, better paying work coming in. The good thing is that, you know, the American Alchemist story is going to help. But I've also been getting some messages, you know, talking with some people, not necessarily signing off on some deals, but that they're interested in hiring me. I say interested, but it looks like, you know, at least half of them. It's like 3 or 4 or 5 people, and you know, if even a couple happen, you know, in the next month or two, then that will help me to improve my flow. Because anytime I'm struggling with money is a setback. So fingers crossed. And I'm, you know, I don't want to take up a lot of time looking for work, but I'm gonna at least do a little of that until I get something more on my plate that's paying. You know, that might mean that Designated Issue 2 is only finished in March instead of February, but so be it. Like right now, Mark doesn't have a plan or a strategy as to when he's going to be crowdfunding issue 2. And I gave him, I sent him some messages with my sort of strategy on how we can crowdfund designated better, because he initially crowdfunded it as a color trade, and that was not successful. He then crowdfunded the first issue as a single black and white book, and that was successful, but only 33 people picked it up. I think we could do a ton better, and the book definitely deserves it. But I don't think Mark's not Mark's not listening to it. So we'll see what happens. It's his baby in the end, and I'm just a hired hand. I'll be happy just to finish it, regardless of what happens with it. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know there's one other book that I'm forgetting at the moment. This is when I don't write bullet points. I forget stuff. But right now, Designated Missing Half and Smokes are my priority. It was those 3 books. As soon as I finish one of those, and it looks like the Missing Half will be the earliest, I'll be getting back to Project X, the book I'm penciling. So yeah, that's pretty much where things stand. But coming up in March, I do have something I'll be doing that, it hasn't been announced, but I'm going to announce it here. Just don't tell anybody. There's a company called... Oh, Rocket's staring at me. What's up, Rocket? Why are your eyes so narrow? He looks like he's mad at me. And I'm not giving him attention. A side note. January was definitely the worst weather we had. It was cold, cold, cold. We had snow. We had enough snow this year to shut the town down, which was probably... I wanted to check. It was probably, I don't know, maybe 8 inches. It wasn't a lot, but for a small town, even the roads, a lot of days were not shoveled, cleared. So yeah, we had cold weather, and then we had snow days, probably for a week, because it took a week to warm up again, because the weather doesn't stick around here for long. You wait 3 days, you wait a week, and the weather changes. So yeah, it took a while for the snow on the ground to melt, and then we had about a week of rain. Cold weather and rain. It's just, it's been a horrible weather month. But it looks like, today's cold, but tomorrow and for the foreseeable future, it's going to be in the 50s, which is definitely pleasant. compared to what it has been. Anyway, that's all to say that Rocket has been a lot more clean and indoors and in my face, and I can't lock him in the bathroom. Although I can kick him outside every once in a while. He just wants to be by my side more often. Right now, he's being quiet, and he's sitting behind me. So if I was actually working, I mean, you know, this is work, but if I was actually inking or whatever, that would be okay. Sometimes if he's really needy, he jumps up onto my desk, and I can't have open ink bottles when he does that. And he's a cat, so he doesn't listen. So he does what he wants. Anywho, so yeah, you know, I'm going to shoot for 3 books to accomplish in February. I will say, with the missing half, that's Tribe Comics. As soon as we're finished with that, then we're immediately jumping on to another book. So the missing half is a horror book, and we'll be doing an issue 2. But right after missing half, we're going to do a book called Copper Star, and that's a superhero book. I believe it will be the 2nd issue, so I'll be jumping on that with issue 2. Then, you know, unless things change after Copper Star issue 2, we'll be jumping onto the missing half issue 2. There is another book in there that was mentioned by them previously, but we're sort of waiting on the writer to re-script the issue to make it better. But you know, while designated with Mark it's a finite project. You know, it's 5 issues, and once I'm done with that, I'm done working with Mark. He'll probably go on to work on his own other projects or whatever, but you know, I'll be done with that. With Tribe, you know, there will be different books, but I could probably, you know, it looks like we'll at least be working together for a year, and if it goes well, much longer than that. And I told Scotty, which, you know, who I'm working with the closest, because I'll be working with him on every book, because he's the penciler. So yeah, we'll be going on and on and on, and working on as many books as possible. You know, it looks like we'll be able to do 6 books a year. You know, because one of my goals is to get a lot more books out there, and it looks like with Tribe, I can be able to do that. You know, to a collaboration with somebody else that will go further than just a couple of books, or, you know, pieces of books. I worked with so many creators that, you know, here's a couple of pages of this issue that I need help on. Here's a couple of pages of the next issue I need help on, and so forth and so on. I've done so much of that. But I told Scott, like, you know, I'm looking to collaborate with somebody to where I'm the inker. You know, I'm the guy doing the covers, I'm the guy doing the interiors, and we're doing multiple books, and we're doing series. Excuse me. So yeah, it looks like the collaboration is going really well, and so it will continue. That might also be the case with Chris with American Alchemist. Um, you know, I worked with Chris before, um, indirectly, uh, and this is American Alchemist is the first book I'm working on with him directly. Now, with American Alchemist, it's an anthology, and there's a lot of other people involved. Um, but maybe at some point, I know he has other things he's created and worked on that he might want to continue, especially if, American Alchemist continues to do good. So maybe our relationship will continue as well. So yeah, we'll see. Um, with Smokes, that's Justin. Belmont. That's a possibility that relationship also will continue. Um, but it looks like unless Smokes does better and better and better with each books, it looks like it might be a book a year. But that's okay. Um, but yeah, I mean it's good to sort of start building relationships that will last for years and years to come. Um, the project I'm doing that I'm penciling, although we have some collaboration challenges, we have talked about the possibility of this being a first issue of maybe a miniseries. So that depending on how well I do as a penciler and how well the book is received and how well our collaboration goes, that also might be something that's years and years in the future. And why I would love for retro to be my one and only project in a way. That's that's not going to be the case until it's the case. That's not going to be the case until I'm selling thousands and thousands of copies of retro, and thus far it was only 80, but that was a blip of a short crowdfunder, and the real test is when I get the book done and fulfilled to those people, and then crowdfunded it again, like a second chance campaign. Then we'll see just how good retro is doing. But yeah, I mean, it's like I have dreams, but you also like this is a business, and realities of the business are that no matter what projects you want to do, they got to make money in the end. So we shall see. So did it? Oh yeah. Before I got into cat talk, I was about to talk about a project. So in March, sorry about that. My mind is. This is why I should write bullet notes, Peter. So in March, I was asked to join a project. It's one of those trading card companies called Upper Deck, and this is what you should keep secret, just between us. Just between us. Upper Deck has asked me to join their next trading card endeavor. which actually is Marvel characters. So I'll be penciling, inking, and watercoloring. That's right, color. 30 cards, and then I believe there's some cards I get back. So what is that? 3 or 4? I forget what that is. So just over 30 cards of Marvel characters. And so in March, I'll be getting the blank cards, and I guess specific instructions. I'm not sure if I could do any characters or if I have to do, go from a list of what they give me. I think the cards I get back, I could pretty much do any character. I'm not sure. Well, I'll find out. I never officially worked for a trading card company, so we'll see how it goes when it goes. So yeah, you can look forward to that. I believe March. I have a couple of months to do all those cards. March, April, May, June, I believe, and the set comes out in July, something like that. Every card has to be approved and blah blah blah. It's going to be a long process, but I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of work, of course, and I might have to do some practice at some point. So yeah, I will say that me, you know, I've really been loving just keeping my head down and working and also trying to enjoy life and spending time with my cat and spending time with friends and talking with people on the phone and getting out and all that. As opposed to being online a lot and watching everybody's streams and doing my own videos and posting on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter all the time. I'm not calling it X. I love that when I'm in it. But I want to get some books under my belt. I need to get some books under my belt. I would say at least 3, but it might be more. I might wait to May or June. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see how things go. I just want things to work a lot smoother to where there's little to no hiccups. I mean, there'll always be hiccups, but I'm just talking like to be flush, where I have money coming in and I don't have to worry about bills, and I can put money in the bank and keep it there for a while. So yeah, I mean, things are looking up. I mean, this is sort of what I've been working towards. It's a long plan, not a short, thing. So, and yeah, I think by the summertime, things will be really going. Of course, if one or any of the books I got going on start crowdfunding, then I'll be a little more active. I am active on Twitter and Facebook in the sense that I post there almost daily. But I do miss posting on Instagram, if more than anything else. You know, I would say I yearn to YouTube a lot more, but that is also time consuming and time I don't currently have. Uh, Instagram is a lot less time, but it also can suck up some time. Uh, so we'll see. I want to be a little more active on Instagram at the very least. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. You know, I hope you are all doing well. Um, like I said, I posted about the Daredevil piece and making that into a print. It's only in the pre-order phase until I say otherwise. Um, it right now it relies on me getting a solid scan. So if I can't get a solid scan out of this, unfortunately, I'm gonna wait until I re-ink a new piece. But if you want to assist me, that is definitely something you could do right now. Um, you know, just go to my recent posts on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter and click the link. I think if you just click the link and type in $30 to, you know, where the link sends you, which is my PayPal Me link, then that's you ordering a Daredevil Electra print, which I will have at some point down the line, and that will greatly help assist me in my endeavors. But you can also, you know, become a Patreon. I haven't been pushing that a lot. Not at all, really. But that's a little boost to beginning of the month every month for me. And if I get more patrons, that will definitely help. Just so everybody knows, I will be doing stuff for Patreon specifically when I clean up my schedule more. And for right now, it's just me touching base every now and then. But you can also throw me a tip. All the links down below. And, you know, there's the PayPal.me link that you can go to and type in any amount from $1 to $1,000 if you want to tip me that much. I've had some recent tips, and I think everybody appreciate everybody who buys my art, and you know, like the guy who bought the Daredevil piece, or the other guy who bought the Daredevil piece, or just some recent tips, and yeah, I appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, I'll see you at the end of next month, and we can recap all over again and see how things have progressed. I feel like I've been going in slow motion, but that's heavily due to all the hiccups and, frankly, me almost losing this apartment. And yeah, that was due to me being too far behind in paying rent. So I cleared that up, but I still have a little more to catch up on. And yeah, I mean, you know, my internet is ridiculously priced. That doesn't help things, but I refuse not to have internet. I need internet at home. Gotta run my business. You know, even if I'm not active at all online, I am actively talking with people and, you know, and collaborating with people on projects that, you know, I talk to online. So that's how all that goes down. All right. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for checking out my video. Like I said, if you haven't already, like this video. Helps me. Eventually, I'll get back to growing my channel, but for right now, it just helps keep my channel alive. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't. If you're new watching this for whatever reason, I appreciate you. And I'll see you again in a month. All right, everybody. Take it easy. Peace.